The clatter of plates and hiss of the espresso machine were the soundtrack to my life at Rosie's Diner. It wasn't glamorous, but it paid the bills, and the regulars were like family. I knew their orders, their stories, their worries. I was a fixture, pouring coffee, dishing comfort food, and listening. Then he walked in. My name is Clara, and this is my love story. I'd seen fancy folks before, tourists flashing money, barely making eye contact. But this guy was different. He had a quiet confidence, not arrogance. He didn't bark orders or act entitled. When he looked at me, it was curious, interested. He took the booth by the window and ordered black coffee and apple pie. Simple, unassuming. I scribbled it down, trying not to stare. He was movie star handsome, dark hair, sharp jawline, stormy sea-colored eyes. His suit looked expensive, too polished for our diner. Maybe he was visiting from the city. I brought his order, hands trembling. "Anything else I can get for you, sir?" I asked, voice too high. He looked up, smiling slightly. "Just your name." "It's Clara," I blurted, instantly regretting the awkwardness. "Clara," he repeated, like it was something elegant. "It suits you." I blushed and fled to the coffee machine, heart pounding. He became a regular. Not daily, but often enough that I started looking forward to his visits. Always the same order. He'd sit quietly, reading a thick leather-bound book or working on a sleek laptop. Sometimes he'd take hushed calls outside. Q3 projections, acquire the assets, words that hinted at something big. Was he a lawyer? Finance guy? He seemed too grounded for that world. Our conversations grew deeper. He asked about my life, my dreams. He listened, really listened. I told him I wanted to open a bakery someday. Something cozy. Good coffee, homemade pie. He smiled warmly. "That sounds wonderful, Clara. Passion and authenticity matter more than capital." His belief in me was surprising, encouraging. Then one afternoon, a sleek sedan pulled up. A man in a suit waited outside. Alexander finished his coffee, nodded at me, and left. He exchanged quiet words with a driver and slid into the back seat. The car glided away like a whisper. Rosie noticed my dazed expression. "Clara, honey, you all right?" "It's Alexander." He left in a car with a driver, a really nice car. Rosie chuckled. "Oh, that Alexander. Bit of a mystery. Comes from old money, or so I hear." The next morning, I arrived to find a crowd outside. Reporters, cameras, my heart raced. Then I saw him, Alexander, stepping out of the same sedan, surrounded by an entourage. A reporter thrust a mic toward him. "Mr. Sterling, a word on the mill acquisition and its impact on the local economy?" Alexander Sterling. The name echoed in my head. Sterling Industries. Billionaire Sterling. He answered calmly, then scanned the crowd. His eyes found mine. For a moment, something flickered, regret, embarrassment, before he composed himself and entered the diner. I was frozen. The man who drank my coffee and listened to my dreams was the CEO of a global empire. It felt surreal. Had he been hiding it all along? Was I just a novelty? 3 days passed. I was a mess. Confused, hurt, flattered, angry. Rosie tried to talk to me, but I couldn't make sense of it. Why hadn't he told me? On the 4th evening, he walked in, but instead of his booth, he came straight to the counter. "Clara," he said softly, "I know you know, and I should have told you." I nodded, unable to speak. "It doesn't change anything for me," he continued. "I needed to know you'd like me for me. Not my name, not my company. I came here to escape all that, and I found you." His voice trembled slightly. "I like you, Clara, for your kindness, your intelligence, your passion, for the way your eyes light up when you talk about your bakery, your spirit. It's more radiant than any diamond." Tears welled in my eyes. He wasn't trying to impress me now. He was just Alexander, sincere and vulnerable. "Will you have dinner with me?" he asked, gently reaching for my hand. "A proper dinner, where I can explain everything." I looked at him, really looked, and saw the truth in his eyes. He wasn't hiding anymore. "Yes," I whispered, smiling. "I'd love to." Our first date was simple. A quiet Italian place tucked away from the city's elite. The scent of garlic and simmering tomatoes filled the air. We talked for hours about everything and nothing. Things moved quickly after our first date, but not without challenges. Alexander began introducing me to his world. Galas, private jets, exclusive clubs, and sprawling estates. It was dazzling but overwhelming. I felt out of place among the polished smiles and designer gowns. My imposter syndrome roared, reminding me of my parents' failed bakery and the chasm between our worlds. His mother, Eleanor Sterling, was the embodiment of old money elegance, poised, icy, and quietly ruthless. She greeted me with a polite smile that barely moved her lips, her gaze dissecting me. "Alexander always had an affinity for novelties," she remarked at a charity auction, her voice sweetly venomous. By her side stood Victoria Thorne, a socialite with pedigree and charm, the kind of woman Alexander's family expected him to marry. She made sure I knew it, too, with subtle digs and feigned surprise at my unfamiliarity with elite circles. "Oh, Clara, darling, you wouldn't know," she'd purr, her smile never reaching her eyes. Alexander tried to shield me, but the sting lingered. Worse, he was seen more frequently with Victoria at high-profile events. Eleanor orchestrated these casual encounters, ensuring they were caught by cameras. The society papers speculated daily about their engagement. One headline hit hardest: "Sterling Scion settles for society's best?" Rosie slid the paper across the counter, her face sympathetic. The photo showed Victoria's hand possessively on Alexander's arm, her smile triumphant. Doubts crept in. Was I just a phase? A quaint distraction before he returned to his proper life? When Alexander next came to the diner, the warmth between us was replaced by silence. He ordered his usual black coffee and apple pie, but his eyes were clouded with concern. Seeing the tabloid on the counter, he sighed and looked at me, pleading. "Clara," he began gently, "that's not what it looks like. My mother—" "I know what your mother wants," I interrupted, voice trembling. "And I know what her world expects. Where do I fit into that? Am I just a novelty?" His eyes flashed with frustration. "Is that what you think of me? After everything we've shared?" He stepped closer, voice low and urgent. "I had to be at the foundation gala. Victoria was there, yes, but there's nothing between us. She's a relic of a life I'm trying to leave behind." He paused, eyes searching mine. "My parents want me to marry for status, to extend the Sterling dynasty. They've arranged introductions with women like Victoria since I was a teenager. It's suffocating. That's why I came to Rosie's. Why I was drawn to you. You're real. You see me, not the name, not the wealth." He looked away, then back. "I lost someone once because his family destroyed his happiness chasing alliances. I swore I wouldn't let that happen to me, or to us." His confession hit me hard. He wasn't just a billionaire. He was a man trapped in a gilded cage, battling expectations as suffocating as my own insecurities. My anger melted into understanding. We weren't just a waitress and a CEO. We were two people, deeply connected. One evening, Alexander led me to the overgrown lot beside Rosie's diner, the spot I dreamed of for my bakery. Holding my hands, his voice thick with emotion, he said, "You are the most authentic, courageous, and beautiful person I've ever known. You complete me." He knelt on the dusty pavement, revealing a velvet box. I don't offer you empty glamour, Clara, but a life of honesty, partnership, and love. A life where your dreams are my dreams. Clara, my extraordinary Clara, will you marry me? Tears blurred the streetlights into halos around his face. Yes, I whispered, joy bursting from my chest. 1,000 times, yes! Our wedding was intimate, a small chapel reflecting our values, not the sterling legacy. Rosie dabbed happy tears. My parents beamed. Eleanor Sterling attended, her presence grudging but respectful. I wore a simple, elegant dress. Alexander's stormy eyes held nothing but love. I do, I said with absolute certainty. As rose petals rained down, I knew my life, once rooted in the clatter of Rosie's diner, was extraordinary not despite its humble beginnings, but because of them. The diner still grounded me, now mingled with Alexander's laughter and the steady progress toward my cozy bakery, built with his unwavering support. Our love, born over coffee and apple pie, was a testament to authenticity, resilience, and two worlds finding common ground. We built our own extraordinary,